Facts about the White Cliffs of Dover. It's estimates. Facts about everything I teach is geology is estimation. Geology is going back into our records. We're $22 trillion in debt. You don't have to go too far back in your 500-year bill. You have a shitload of stuff written down on this internet thing in order to confirm that the Bible itself is invalid. You have too much written on this internet. The Bible is invalid because you have too much written on this internet. Yet I'm teaching the same. Yet again, I'm saying the same thing over and over and over and over and over again. Hey, so in this over and over and over repetitive cycle, what I'm trying to do is break through the end of, I've known this from 10 years of age, but I didn't quite recognize when I'd be 43, I'd have to be uh, writing the closure plan and never teach or preach the Bible again with a good concluding reference as to why is what I didn't expect. I didn't expect that one. However, when I was younger and when I'm older and when I've been all the way along, all preachers are immoral ignorance in my mind. You're all mentally ill. You're all mentally ill cult teachers, as I had no does. No does. You used the book of legends and used it wrong. No does. The moral incompetent 6,000-year pastor, I'm ripping this Bible from his hand and topping this Indian reservation bill in order to explain to doctors when I finally get through the mystical code of it. I'm not there yet. It'll take us. It will take. You'll never understand everything I understand. I'm opening the key to Kabbalah. The Quell theory is invalid. I found where religion was blah. Oh, you have a book without God in your John 1:18, 6,000 years. That's on and off. Thing called a buzzer in the Bible. Children, my little children, my little children. That's got caught. There's nothing in the Bible but getting caught for taking God out of it, little babies. That's nothing in the Bible but getting caught. When do we turn the Bible off? Because of taking God out of it. Well, when does he never in there? Naked tribe hunting monkey doesn't need God. He already has God. He has gravity. And he needs America to pull their heads out of their asses and, oh, you're 250 trillion watts. Can't think that clear. 6,000 years. Where's? You guys owe a lot of money to Naked Tribe Hunting Monkey. You guys are immoral ignorance. Drop your churches and drop your pants and cut off some balls with that one. That was dumb. Kennewick Man, 9,200-year-old fossil remain. That's ignorance. That is lame, stupid, lame, stupid, lame, stupid ignorance. I don't care that I'm wrong. I don't care that I shouldn't have been born. Lame, stupid ignorance. 6,000 years. Shouldn't have been born. Lame, stupid, ignorant now in the year 2020. You're so lame, stupid, ignorant cult teachers with Bible in print. So lame and so stupid and so ignorant of the legitimate contents of the Bible. What do I give you? You don't know anything. I take you out of hell. You actually don't know anything of that book. It's entirely medieval. What millennium is it now? Started a much better starting point. 112 2018 facts about the White Cliffs of Dover. Well, you flew airplanes over and then validated CFR 191 being so lame, stupid, ignorant, Trinity College. So, like Trinity College, you're such a shitty institution with their cult institutional teaching system, keeping James Ussher's, keeping who else? Keeping Isaac Newton. Are they both up there in placards in the walls? What about Lord Kelvin? Where'd you go wrong at? Darwin, Darwin. When did you guys stop talking? Oh, when you guys said we don't give a shit what's going on all over there. We don't. That's how the church formed, and how the church. We don't give a shit. I'm going to put the name of a false messiah into this, and you're not going to give a shit. This is going to come out of your schools. Jesus, we love you a little bit more now. The his born of a virgin we were covering earlier. Juggling God into the meeting was juggling with the little stupid retarded Israelites who, as you're juggling your books, where did you put James Ussher? Oh, stupid retarded Israelites caught it in Darwin in 76. Americans, stupid, the New American Standard version Apocrypha, American stupids didn't notice any correction. Hey, we're keeping a what? A book? Diligently compared to what? No, it wasn't diligently compared. No Bible has ever been diligently compared. I'm going to do my best to find a medieval script and get out of Latin and Greek. What already translated bad? You're already in hell. The time you open that book, you're already wrong. You're already gone. By the time you get to, I have a blinking desire to learn something from the book. What did it contain? You're already wrong. It contained the capacity to take God out of your schools. It contained the capacity for you to not see God. The Bible contained the capacity, if there's any one verse taught wrong anywhere in the world at any moment in time, any one single verse, no one in the world will get to understand it. Well, with cult website, no one in the world understood any one verse in the Bible in the year 2020 when cult website is still there, aside from me. No. I've been researching the Dead Sea Scrolls. This is kind of what I suspected was happening in '86 when I was trying to why I'm great. No, 86. I figured out I didn't grow up from grade ape. That was dumb. I couldn't find anything on the history of writing. It wasn't anywhere. Of course, it's not anywhere if it's in all your Bibles. Says we don't know when this shit was written down. Of course, the history. You have an invalid history of writing, which is why I have the facts of Trinity College facts about the White Cliffs of Dover. They're too dumb, stupid now, and have an invalid history of writing. Trinity College, 2020. You have an invalid history of writing, and you're too dumb stupid with the White Cliffs of Dover right there to accept the reality of, wow, you have invalidated CFR 191. Trinity College invalidated CFR 191. The entire institution was invalid right now. Invalidation of CFR 191. I say God admitted to me. You're all invalid. You're all invalid. You're all invalid. You're all invalid. You're all invalid, which is what I've been covering for the last 48 hours. So, progressive, we're all invalid, myself included. Don't feel bad about it. I was baptized in this in the 6,000 years. That was 86, starring Kevin Costner. So, facts about the White Cliffs of Dover as well. Fuck, I was Baptist in 1986. So, full writing appears to have been invented 500 years after 4000 BC got you fucked up. And Isaac Newton helped. Sorry, Lord Kelvin put a little bit more, but we'll get another blank sheet of paper because we're just writing our little snippets. I'm pretty sure. Imagine how there's what. It'll be 40,000 pages of these. Each will have a little bracket of bullshit. Jesus said, I hate you. God and Moses spoke face to face. And it'll have a little elf or something right there. It'll look like that. What do you think God wants from you to get him back in the Bible? Yeah, moral incompetent 6,000 years. Took God out of the Bible because you can't see him. There's 7.7 billion of you now that didn't know the Bible itself was entirely apocryphatic. Entirely apocryphatic. Every verse, every line, I'm not quite sure what to do with the away, away down south, the Dixie. Yeah, now that I've been, it's too late for me to not do this because it's already done, little babies. And so I'm just a few days away from taking this massive. No, the earth's no longer success, and here's the age, and here's everything that you're dumb about, and how you got left in hell in Tupper's, Washington, in order to plump. Kind of like when Martin Luther, whoever it was, stapled shit on the door and made it in. The Bible and all. So that's what the last few days I've been promising we'll get through. Little children, little children, little children. The last in the if you go down a few, friend hanging out. That's I haven't even checked my email to be honest. If you send me something, send me an email. mr.r.r. No. Yashar.bin.david. Zimra. Zimra. So Julius Caesar landed off of Dover in 55 BC. He was met by armed forces, so got back into a ship and traveled to a different shore side. So okay. Isaac Newton, the greatest scientist of his age, was among was among those who click it in there. So you're forgetting just because you thought it was doesn't mean it is. Greatest scientist of his age, kept the legend also. Legend of interpretation of Garden of Eden. Where was it? How did he get over there? How did he come up from that? What does he look like? What did God form him? So did God form Isaac Newton? Did God form the elephant, Christians? And what about the seven vertebrae and the long-necked giraffe? Yeah, he grew up to reach the food. We're going to be hungry, so we grew up long necks. Yo, that's the giraffe. The evolution of the stomach, 500-year what the fucks. Evolution of the four stomachs in the cow. Good job, naturalist. Yo, naturalists, mental ill naturalists, four stomachs in cow. Logic. Why? Why four stomachs in the cow? Naturalists. Why? Logic. How did it come from three as it was improving, ascending up to four? Logic. Naturalists. Did it start at 5 and descend down to the 1 in you? Naturals. Same cow, same evolution, same time stamping from 1859. Naturalist. Same cow, same you, same Darwinian theory. Here I'm closing for you. When I compare Richard Dawkins, you agree? Cow didn't evolve 4 stomachs. Giraffe did not evolve 7 vertebrae. Neanderthal with the same as Down syndrome's children is a simple, oh yeah, you homosexual, great apes now, wherever you're all at. Dawkins, see, I used to be an atheist when I was 10 too, little buddy. Little baby. Too scared to go book. Kept legend of church. Isaac Newton. Not scared of book, but encountered legend and not authorship of Moses himself, and website that took God out of Bible that fully invalidated all of the internet and all of the Bible. Right now, no one's birth certificate is valid scientifically, little babies. In the year 2020, until I'm done getting the Bible, hey, no one's birth certificates are valid because of what I've discovered with the Dead Sea Scrolls. Because of 6,000 years, no one's birth certificates or voting books are even valid. No, you're writing your name on a check is invalid. Your checks are invalid. Your PIN number on your debit card entry to the bank is invalid to God. You're all invalid to God. We are literally invalid. He's like, I'm over here. Back in the day when he's walking among them and he's royal, he's regal, God, albino, no magic proofing glory, descends in the cloud and stations an angel right beside, keep an eye out. And no one's going to attack him. No one's going to do it. It's a very, very different group of people. Before metallurgy and before writing and before consciousness, before thought, before anything. When 20,000 years ago, before, without writing, they had domesticated animals. However, they don't need it necessarily. Don't have all of the metallurgical, they didn't have dog leashes, so you can't find something from that era that's leather with the metal. You are not going to find that because that wasn't even, when they found a hunk of gold, they used that gold on the ground, this black shit, build a fire pit. Is what they do with that. Build a heavy fucking thing. I need this to staple down my teepee. Is what they would do with the golden Havala. And then you picked it up when you got metallurgy and writing and maps to go back and find more food indications. So 20,000 years ago with the golden Havala, absolutely. It was all over the place also. It was picked up. It was what was exchanged. And when the Israelites were walking around in the wilderness, they picked up a shitload of gold. Fuck yeah, they picked up a lot of gold. They sent out, they were in the wilderness. Hey, let's go look for gold. What do you think the fuck they were doing? Have babies. God there with his magic proofing glory in the tent of meeting. Just it's hot. It's 140 degrees, and they're like in the desert, just like baking away. I want to see you have more babies. Is what he was doing to them. I want to see more. At least 7 more, this week. Come on. You. He go out and assign them. I want more babies from them. Dipshit little kids. And he would also assign them, I'm going to put this person with that person from nowhere elseville without writing, and then they'll find their way back and develop something and start commerce and trade there with writing and map to get back, and then construction responsibility to come back and erase themselves with the church with a false teaching. That's kind of how it went. Isaac Newton, greatest scientist of his age, was take God out of the Bible and you're preaching, you're not going to have Earth history. Yeah, I call that pretty fucking fascinating. Greatest science. Whoa, you invalidated CFR 191 and the entire internet by your false interpretation at 6,000 year what at Got Questions at Colville. Wow, invalidated such a massive. The entire internet massive. Naked try hunting monkey invalid, so it doesn't really matter. Massive. Because he's your missing link. Small little deal. How'd you get to know him? The one I like is when I was reading that they are watching them share that they milking their dogs. That's one of my favorites. Fresh dog milk. Wow. Milking their dog. And we milk cows and think it's weird when an udder didn't see him at the zoo and they milk the dog. I'm going to send all your kids on a boat across the ocean, paddled with dogs, a hemp flotation tree of life that paddled by dogs, powered by dogs. Yeah, and then they can eat dogs on the way, and they'll milk, they'll have gestating dogs with them, and they'll drink dog milk and for fresh milk. And then as they run out of the supplies, because we'll only take a half supply, we'll start to eat the dogs. We'll cook them up with the rice and have them for all of our beans and rice. We'll have them for protein, and then we'll start to put your kids into on the treadmill that we set up for the dogs to paddle the boat across the ocean. We'll have them start walking the last half of it. We'll have the dogs take us walking across a treadmill across the ocean. So we'll do that for you. You need a little bit of creativity and pulling your heads out. So Isaac Newton was a pretty swell guy, but he never thought about how he could have built a hemp raft to take your daughter, your brain dead great ape children across the ocean in a hemp designed tree of life raft powered by dogs. Did he? Never do that. You have to make everything new. So here's what we would need for this one to be pulled off. Number one, we need to shut off the North Pacific Ocean from above Hawaii, and then just shut it off. And up there, if we did that, I guarantee you, within 500 years, just stop using that, move all cars from boats to airplanes, and stop trading with China. Stop buying imported goods, except for cars. Cars are okay. taking a much different approach to how we manage that area. Just that region, you will see a change that cools off the conceptualization that we have a, what would I call it, the global warming thing. Well, before the beginning of time, this thing used to be, this earth used to be a very, very dense little ping pong ball thing. Beyond dense. Beyond dense. With this big ball of flame around it. In an oven. Being turned on. We're just out there. He doesn't care about us right now. He doesn't actually care about this planet. It's the planet's expired. Full planet expired with 6,000 years. Full planet expired because of the stupidity of science. Take better care of it. Full planet expired. You're not going to find anything that you haven't already discovered. You've already expired all of your data scientists. Your full planet expired. Great ape expired. Left you in hell. Great apes expired. Full planet, all scientific data left you in hell. Expired. Because the Bible is not in your schools. Because your churches still teach from pulpits. Full planet expired. Because Catholic Church still has Pope. Full planet expired. Because United States does not grow up handwriting Quran. Full planet expired. Because where's next? Full planet expired because Islamic children circumcise their girls. Full planet expired because Catholics have priests raping boys. Full planet expired because an amazing high amount of children do experience sexual abuse. An amazing high amount. Over 1%, more like 4%. It's not even the 0.001%. It's like 1 in 4. 1 in 6. 1 in full planet expired with maybe some, maybe yes, maybe no, yes, more than you think. Hell of a lot more than you think. That's why your kids are all broken. Full planet expired because they see all of this pictures of scantily clad women. I have to grow up into that. I'm going to take on my own gesture. I'm a buck hag. Full planet expired because you don't have lips like mine or George Washington's. Full planet expired. You're expired. President, Bernie Sanders, you're expired. You don't have lips like mine. Full planet expired because of Bible imprints from Isaac Newton. Full planet expired. The greatest scientist of his age kept 6,000 year for how long? So the greatest scientist was among those who were insane, who used the Bible, who misinterpreted 5 whole books. The question of the age of the the greatest scientist of his age, didn't have anything. Uh, we're waiting to figure out if we can figure out the Bible. Was among those who calculated the age of Earth at 4,000. Was among those who calculated calculated the age of Earth at 4,000 BC. The age of Earth at 4,000 BC. The White Cliffs, the Dover, full writing, human evolution, great apes over 6 million years. How long did it take for oil to form? Isaac Newton, a little better addressed. Okay. Downward time chart of biblical history and the invalid apocrypha. You took apart with King James to compare with. James Ussher. James Ussher, born January 4th. James Ussher deduce that the first day of creation fell upon October 23, 4004 BC. October 23, 4004 BC. So you have to use both. Lord Kelvin. So James Ussher, born One 1581. Died 3/21/1656. (1666) happened, and that's NASA's Magic Water Factory after that. Figure out what millennium it's not. James Ussher. We'll go back to Isaac Newton. What happened there? Oh, over there. So, figure out what millennium it's not. It's not time to keep the Bible open in 6,000 years still. I plugged in 1199. So, Isaac Newton, the greatest scientist of his age, was among those who calculated the Earth was 4,004 BC. How was he born? Well, I wasn't born yesterday, so this cheat worked. I've always knew. That's because I distributed that Russian Apocrypha. Isaac Newton, the greatest scientist of his age, was among those who calculated the age of the Earth at 4,000 BC. I distributed Russian Apocrypha, so no, that one's wrong. Born born 1/4/1581. 1/4/1581. 1581. Died 3/21, 1656. Oh, Isaac Newton. Shit. I doubled that up. Over. Newton, greatest. This is where you get to see God knew the name of my dog. It's kind of cool. God knew the name of my dog. It's in the Quran. And he gave me the name of my dog when I actually named my dog Max Lopez from that missions trip. So thank you, Isaac Newton. Goes calculated the age of Earth at 4,000 BC. So a false book because you didn't understand the authorship. False story of creation. False narrative in Genesis. False, then you took God out of it and you missed Moses wrote shit down. That story was a real story, as we've been already explained. And it's really, really boring to me to just explain that the Bible's empty because that's a real story. It actually took between I did Torah first to account for Genesis 1:9, and that took between 2007 through 2014. So taking Torah all apart between 2007 to 2014 in order to understand one verse, and then from 2014 through 2018, taking the entire New Testament apart in order to understand the connective union between one verse, then 2 years in order to understand the big picture of why I can't write anything. It's taken me 2 years to get out of what I began in 96. I can't, because Bible is still in print at 6,000 years age, and that is invalid. That deduction is invalid for the Dead Sea Scrolls. I can't do anything for any commentation on any verse of the Bible because the entire Bible is invalid at somebody said 6,000 years. It was Jimmy Swaggart. Dead. Right here. Invalid. The entire Bible invalid because said evolution. Entire Bible invalid because Easton Press placed Darwin and James Ussher together in 76. Entire 1976 Bible invalid because Easton Press placed Darwin. Little babies. Little immoral, ignorant, typing great apes now. This entire thing is invalid because in 1976, Easton Press, the year that was originally formed, kept Ussher and was too dumb to turn it off as a theory. Why? Why in 1976 were you too dumb to know how to work with a theory? What millennium is it now? You followed a how long theory, little babies? That itself was invalid. You followed a how long book that was itself invalid, little babies. Christians, false education, protection of false book, invalid also. Never once protected a verse. Invalidated every book, invalidated every story, invalidated every version, invalidated every translation, invalidated everything in the world. Christians have invalidated everything in the world by still having churches in existence in the year 2020. Christianity. The internet is invalid because stupid ignorance still teach from this book. Hey, Jesus loves you. I'm quite sure. He's a different guy. A word of Yahweh came to me again there in Jeremiah. Now, he's a different guy. Yahweh. And no prophet like Moses has appeared again. Yahweh conversed with them face to face. Yahweh. Yahweh. Jesus loves me. This I know. Really, really fucked up with Latin, and this is bad. Jesus Christos. You see how this feels? Yahweh. Christians are walking on their little Mork and Mindy's little letter Y above your head. I want to connect up to God in prayer, but it's just humped overs around your eyes. I'm going to blind you. You're so immoral ignorance. Straighten you up, back up, and stop teaching your children that they're great apes, and you'll all do a hell of a lot better immediately. You know how to close the theory now? We have to get rid of the Bible in order to close the theory of evolution. Go over to Wikisource now, little babies. Use your dog. I'll use my dog. His name's Maxwell, which is why I'm explaining to you, utilizing this, that go to my website, prayers to Maxwell.org. You want to hit God in the tent of meeting? Learn about how he's albino. Learn real Earth history. Take Jesus. English, Latin translation, print Jesus' name. Stop using reference. False Messiah. We need God. Stop using word God. Use Hashem. Use Elohim. Christians. Nothing else. Stop printing anything for Jesus. We love you. And yes. Stop printing. Stop using. Stop gathering around the teachers that tell you whatever. You're just here and tickle your ears pink. And there in 2 Timothy 4:3-4, too incompetent to recognize it's all. Changed his name to Paul, and you have a bad book. Now, all everyone's know with that. But this little puppy, 6,000. What? That was a cleanup project, a false book. 6,000 years, which is why I'm recording myself, which is why I'm handwriting, which is why I'm explaining you took God out of your teachings with 6,000 years. They're mentally ill. We have to turn them off. They are mentally ill, retarded. This cult is mentally ill, retarded. Where am I from? Mentally ill, retarded Baptist became mentally ill worse. Bible. My eyes are sure on the Lord forever, for he will free me great from the snare. Some albino. When I get around to it, there's thousands of psalms. But there's that. And that's yeah, kumbaya psalms. King David. What's on a birthday card? A psalm. Oh yeah. But how do you? Let's talk about some Kabbalah. God was there beside King David when he composed Psalm 119 and Psalm 1. He's an albino God. Let us eat and drink on that day. You turn your eyes to the arsenal of the palace of the forest. This is in Isaiah chapter 22. Look, the land of the Chaldeans, a people now of no account. Chaldeans, Sumerian history, land of no account. So Isaac Newton thinks now we have no 22 trillion in Americans who don't know the Chaldeans and the Hittites and the Sumerians were even real people. 7.7 billion of you don't even know that naked tribe hunting monkey exists, or we made it. We should go help them. No, we shouldn't. They're dying off because we're encroaching. So no, we're not going to have any more babies. Why would they? They stopped having babies on a pretty regular, consistent basis a while ago, and that's why many of them are scared of guys like me. We come in with what? How did the men during the 30s come in there? Natural ass way to think about it. How did Christians get to Australia? First thing that they should have done when they arrived, Christianity from Trinity College, was, hey, how long you been here? How can we integrate with you? How can we help you? So Isaac Newton, not thinking, what are we going to do if this is an invalid story? But rather timestamping himself as read invalid book, had invalid story, and in its entirety, invalid Bible, James Ussher included, Bible, because they'd only have legend elsewhere. And then how'd you get this Bible in the year 2020 that Jimmy Swaggart fucked up 2005? I'm going to keep producing legend, lol, this red legend. It's all invalid. Jimmy Swaggart, thanks for putting a legend of a false messiah. It was part of the 1976 to now. I've figured it out by taking apart each and every verse of the Bible, for Genesis 1:9, which happens to be Pangea. God, Moses face to face. You need out of hell. Yeah. What did you call it? Well, during the days of Peleg, you were mentally ill. No. Isaac Newton, during the days of Peleg, what the fuck did you do to break your brain, you dipshit moron? Yeah, we believe that Genesis 1:9 was Pangea. No one's ever seen God yet, so what does the Bible actually look like? No brain. Okay. That one made better sense for getting you out of hell. There's some marijuana. You were expecting something like that, right? Um, no more Sacramento wine. We got to make everything new. The Isaac Newton, no more sacrifice of wine. We got to make everything new. He was a legend keeper. Uh, so, a mathematician born 12/20/1642, which is kind of swell. My adopted German grandfather is, we spread his ashes right over there. He was born also on Christmas Day, and like 19 way back when. Died. Space. Human evolution. Three 31 17 27. 3 17 27. Human evolution. Charles Darwin. Over to Wikisource. You dipshit naturalist. Yeah, we're the grapes of writing. Charles Darwin. Charles Darwin was an English naturalist. Was an English naturalist. Somehow wasn't that smart. Geologist and biologist. Geologist and biologist. So now we have the beginning of your broken education system. So I have to explain you're all in hell because of this. This not grade 8 with white hair right here. Yeah, that's kind of funny. So 1809, 1888. He's a good looking man, actually. Charles Darwin is a good looking man. Best known for his contribution. Found in order in line, best known for closing things. Theories. I've been working on this insane theory for how many years? Oh, fuck. No, we didn't grow up from great apes, and Charles Darwin wasn't one either. But from common ancestors. I understand science to the science keeping the Bible out of your school. To science, grade 8. Take your foreheads. 500 years. His proposition that all species of life have descended over time. The dissension, his proposition, so being earlier, you have no records, we have nothing to compare. Oh, we're all from the same. Let's start wobbling. So you did that, and you did that, and you kept doing that, and you kept doing that, and you kept doing that, and you made your picture come better and bigger, and you filled it in. Yeah, you guys filled in your we evolved from graded. Fuck you, rivet. Well, you accrued 22 trillion. Fuck you, rivet, rivets. In the Americas, fuck you, rivet says life science, where hey, at some point still not pinpointed in your fuck you, rivet fossil record. Now life science, fuck you, rivet. Now life science. Please evolved amazingly strong hind legs. Fuck you, Rivet Charles Darwin. Who do I need next? Charles Darwin, yeah. No, he did not have a. I'll help you with geology. James Ussher deduced and was an approximate. I'll help you with theology from now on. So the Bible had God, and then Christians took out of the God, and you've been in hell ever since. And the White Cliffs of Dover didn't make sense to James Ussher, nor did they make sense to Charles Darwin, apparently, for some reason. And you think that he would have been fascinated. Where the fuck did all of this white shit come from? But that's probably how we grew up from the ground and as a white, I guess. Charles Darwin was an English naturalist. No, God, the reason why that group of people are more dumb is God made them without brains to work properly in from that area. And the whites like Charles Darwin, yeah, they're from the pasty shit. They used to be even whiter towards the Cambrian explosion. They had scales right there. That's where white came from. Albino, different from Norway. Australian Aboriginal, not great ape. Rather, 500-year, no one gives a shit about them. Kennewick man, 9,200-year-old fossil remain. I really care for you guys. Ken Hon, cutting your balls off next. You know, human evolution kept a legend. What the fuck? You have no Earth history because of both. What the fuck? You have no Earth history because of both. What the fuck? You have no Earth history because of both. Human evolution and great apes evolving writing keeping 6,000 year and Jesus on the cross. You have no Earth history because of that. Little letters. When I say we're in hell, yep, that's what I mean. Two people too dumb to say, I was looking at an article and I chose to learn a little about the White Cliffs of Dover and was able to simply derive in 5 whole minutes that would have taken a really long fucking time for that. And that, and that great apes grew up to become you. So you're done with the book. So we need to capture all of the 6 million year great apes. Capture all of the 6 million year great apes. How long will that take? I propose 7 years because naked tribe hunting monkey doesn't need it. He doesn't need the Bible. Australia obviously doesn't know how to read the Bible. Get on, you're a moron. Invalidating the Christian community, Bible, the Catholic pastors don't know how to read Bible. We both regret it. So yeah, you're right over here, which meant I have to take the whole Bible away from everyone. I have to take your theory of origin because you put James Ussher in 1976. Let's see when this one was written. 1988. Okay, so who's 1988? Oh, okay, 89. Yeah, 89. When I was telling you a story at Boy Scout. Here's my pencil. That's pen. So this one's Philippines. If you have something to share, yeah, Philippines, you're about to implode. You should get rid of this book. So I'll take it from you, Catholic bishops in Philippines. You guys raping children in the the United States. Yeah, it's the word of God. Thank you for keeping it a legend on how you're going to fuck it up. Historical books, we see God's action in human history in order to liberate a people. He wants to make his own. Well, I noticed in this part, the bad piece of Apocrypha didn't have this. I'm invalid because right here God and Moses spoke face to face. So I have to just say, I'm sorry, this is an invalid. So their national history in Genesis invalid with theirs. Exodus invalid with theirs. So they have a national history invalid. Bible invalidated natural history. I was explaining to you. With this invalidation, God under reason, history, wisdom taken out. How, by their invalidation through the importance of an individual's formation and efforts in order to become a responsible person and a believer. You, no, no, no. Believe whatever the fuck you want. Become a good person. You leave them. You leave them really immature and stupid. Really stupid dumb. Everyone's really stupid dumb, according to them, to get more little white matter up there to fire a little bit better, spend a lot of time on the third eye self hypnosis and never preach, never listen to sermon, turn off Christian radio, turn off all of the babbling on idiots who gather around round tables. Oh, we don't know what we're Jesus. They're clamoring clowns. Turn them off. They're all clamoring clowns. Everyone gathering around tables, clamoring clowns. Let's talk about the. All you're doing is clamoring clowning. I don't know what I'm talking about because each and every time you read a verse, it has to start. What I'm talking about, I shouldn't have been born because God and Moses spoke face to face, and here in Numbers 11 is written that this displeased Moses. Then Moses said to Yahweh, why have you treated your servant so badly? Is this because you do not love me that you burden me with this people? Did I conceive all these people and did I give them birth? And now you want me to carry them in my bosom? So why would you take God out of the Bible, I suppose? As a nurse carries an infant to the land you promised on an oath to their fathers? Moses, Hitler, better example. You want me to do what? These fucking retards. I don't want to. I don't like being public performer. Yeah, I stutter. I don't want to do it. It was more. I don't want to. I don't want to. I don't want to. I really like your gossip. I don't want to do any work around your office. We need to get rid of that little guy. But he's God's chosen guy. What the fuck? All right. He was a really annoying. Nobody liked him. Fuck Moses, little weasel. Moses himself was a little weasel. I love Moses. Saul, wow. You know, but Yahweh said to Moses, assemble 70 men from the elders of Israel, whom you recognize as elders and men of authority over them, and bring them to the tent of meeting, and let them take their stand there with you. So think of the size of the tent of meeting. They're in the outside, 70 men. I shall come down to speak with you, and I shall take some of the spirit that is in you and put it on them. What does that mean? Okay, I'm going to face give them a little pep talk. You ever have a team member, you know that they're a really good contribution to your team? Thank you. The you want to reach out and you want to provide. You do that. Hey. What did he do? I'm going to give my broader team of people who's like grumpy little weasel who's like always running around frantic because he's disorganized. He's not that disorganized. That guy, he doesn't have a wife. Yeah, he hasn't been provided a wife, so he has no one taking care of him like that. And Joshua is more God's little bitch than Moses is. When then, hey, I'll send Joshua to do some of your work. I'll send Joshua. He was the vice president, really, and then Joshua was God's little main henchman in this threefold thing. In helping, Joshua would work here right beside Moses and help Moses coordinate everything and all of the more. He's too gruff. Moses is too gruff to go. Moses pissed those people off. God used Moses to keep people pissed off. Oh, I don't want Moses to come over. When God came down and was there and they stood at their tents worshiping God, they had to do this to Moses. Heil type stuff. He wasn't who you think he is. Moses was brilliant. He was raised in Egyptian schools. Under that Egyptian Structure of authority. How would he have learned and retained and grown up at the age of 12 to begin to become what he's then going to mentor and to be at about the age of 12, the men of Moses's child rearing days who were swaddled, mother kept in their arm, right connected to them, and watch them that puppy train, house train your dog with their child during that era. Moses, he received Egyptian scholarship with also what we have later, and through, hey, how are they doing all of the Egyptian wizardry type bullshit. Well, they have a queen. Yeah. And so Yahweh said to Moses, they're face to face, and then Rahor stepped on this book, I guess. Assemble 70 men from. He's a fat little Buddha guy. He didn't like not being mentioned. 70 men from elders of Israel, whom recognizes elders and men of authority over them. Bring them to where Rahor didn't like not being mentioned with Jesus. That is in you, and put it in them. From now on, I will share with you the burden of the people so that they no longer will you bear it alone. I need to explain all of the Cold War order now. You know, so Moses adorned royal. No kids. Didn't want kids around. No kids. Didn't want kids around. Jesus was a herbalist. He smoked a lot. I guarantee you. John the Immerser was, or John on Patmos was sucking down the psilocybin. Yeah, Jesus was a little herbalist and himself. 344. So Jesus was a little herbalist. Absolutely he was. Yeshua the Messiah ben Yosef. Jesus, English guy, was more like, oh, you got methamphetamines to consider with no brains with your children in Washington State. How did they do that to themselves when they get addicted to the substance of this? I don't remember if I'm in White Cliffs at Dover, but we're talking about NASA's Magic Water Factory, regardless of it, whatever. They have a magic water quasar over there on this internet that puts out on Genesis 1:9. On the entire internet, it's an eye-opening experience to go read that properly. And so it took me 13 years to dig that out of 1996 data. 1996 data. So through this 1996 data, I'm going to get all of the titles of all of the books, all of the what I'm compiling right now, what I'm finally finishing is let me let me get that to tea. It's boiling. Bible. So I have to reflect back. Me personally, why did it take so long to discuss something that was different than what I expected when I was taught the Bible? When was I baptized? 1986. I was baptized Baptist 1986. Well, Baptist had a bad Bible in 1986. It being that Baptists had a bad Bible, they taught a legend of 6,000 year earth in 1986. Charles Darwin was an English naturalist. Lord Kelvin, will get back to him because his birthday fits with my daughter. We were using him in nursery with the 1610 data because I witnessed her screaming, "Oh, it's going to happen when it happens." 6,000 year cult website can't turn off in the year 2020. They're the most immoral ignorance. The only answer is to rip this Bible from print and explain to you that there's nothing in it but not God. God isn't in the New Testament, as we've already covered. A very personal, end of the road cleanup job, as I've already introduced. Thanks for hanging out. I'm willing to. We need a lot of people to come and short. This is so lame. Watch me handwrite God back into the Bible. Did you know how to do that? What will you get if you ever try? Never tried, never noticed. God, I thought it was always in there. Oh, I would know all of your false teachings. The Bible's invalid by everything around it, including your birth certificate. So, until we turn off the Bible completely and totally and give it a timestamp of how long it was on, at 6,000 year Wahut, then we will always have a 6,000 year history. 5,000 years from now, we will still have a 6,000 year Earth history. We'll be down to a finite lot fewer. No, no, no. We learn from the people we were born from. We have 6,000 year. If you keep Bible at 6,000, it will continue to do that and continue to erase itself through all Earth history, which is why I'm recording myself explaining this phenomenon of the you don't have a Bible. You only have cult teachings. Giving the inverse effect of what you taught wrong. While you taught the age of the earth incorrect, your entire church history. What was going on during the era where these two men made that, and then later on were able to determine, wait, I'm a committed Christian, and I think the earth was, the story told me that this big ball of plop was plopped into water, and that had to have been at least 600 million years ago. They had no conceptualization of geology. They had no idea of Pangea, how long it would take for us to erase with the Bible during this era. No consciousness of that. How long will we erase Earth history as we go through and teach a legend of a false history of creation, which invalidated science for all of its Earth history? How long will 1611 remain? With 1611 set at 6,000 years, you're currently in where? The King James Authorized Version. Well, you didn't have authorization to take God out of it. You had authorization to see what was wrong with it. So now we have no Earth history until we turn this thing off. The King James Authorized Version, we only had authority to determine what was wrong with the Bible itself, Pastor, who falsely deduced that it told you 6,000 years of age. Well, Jimmy Swaggart falsely deduced both 2005 and 2010 also. 3500 BC to 3500 BC, first record of writing, you're $22 trillion in debt, you're mentally ill. So, thanks, King James. The Authorized Version kept at 6,000 year Earth erased the invalid story and teaching from it. The English specifically. English preaching is immoral. England preaching is immoral. England. Yeah, there's a lot of blacks in England who are preachers now, and a lot of charismatics. There's some weirds. There's some weird blending of in England. bunch of churches in England. The year's not 6,000 years of age, but any longer for both sides of you. The Bible's invalid. The King James Authorized Version kept his 6,000 year, erased the future invalid story through the English interpretation of the formation of the church, of the timing with the relationship, plural, relationships. We're Syriac. We're Thomasian with the relationship. Oh. I got my girls in Islam who are going through 5% of them still suffer. Girls still suffer with the barbaric female circumcision. You fucking retards, knock that shit off. I'll take the Bible away from Christianville. 6,000 year Bahats for that one. Okay. 6,000 year to release the future Noah's story through the English interpretation of the timing of the formation of the church with relationships to the consequence of itself being an invalid book. Future consequences of itself being an invalid book at time of first. We had the brain fart to get this from into this form. 1611, and the 1600 turned on, and I'm going to King James. I'm going to provide a ceiling point for what he permitted them to have with his local. I have to provide, and I have to. Well, we'll make we now have trade. We now have people moving a lot better trade actually. During this era, as soon as they came out of the Garden of Eden and got writing, they had a lot better trade than we have now. The caravan routes, when they got writing, they're like, oh wow, the world opened up 3,500 BC. With writing, the earth opened up from, we're going to, there's something over there, into, they're going to come and kill us. And there's going to become, there's too many humans right now. There are too many humans to properly keep wrangled in the reason why you have the broken education system and you have the broken church systems and you have crime rates as they are is there's too many humans without, what are they looking for? To the future consequence of itself being valid book at formation of first composition. So what I'm outlining is the King James Version of the Bible being an invalid book of formation, obviously. We have a story of creation, which I've explained many, many times. It's a real story of creation. The book's invalid. Get rid of the book, see the story of creation, and you're done. 6,000 year legend done. Trinity College, you're done. year 1611 still. So because of Trinity College, the year is still 1611 approximately. Because of 2005, James Ussher's reminder kept by the Christian morons, Jimmy Swaggart. Christian morons, 6,000. You're as dumb as boxes of rocks. You're all in hell. The I love Christ, Yeshua the Messiah. We had to make him new, and you know that. The King James Authorized Version kept Jesus as Latin in this transformation into English writing. And 6,000 year can't turn off because they got Jewish scripture king. Israel needs to collapse because of the provision of the Dead Sea Scrolls. Found Dead Sea Scrolls. What did they tell you? Oh, nothing. Yeah, I know. Thanks, buddies. 917. That's a lot of sheets of paper. Oh, we have a cool website that can't turn off now. Thanks, Israel. America. Way to go. Thanks, Israel. Yeah, so the year 1666 is all mine, and then I have to take the whole Bible away from you in order to correct it for transition, and that's Ben David. Take Ben Yosef off the cross as Jesus. We love you now, but however, we trust the Tinta meeting a little bit more, and all Baptists, you're done, 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 done. Baptists are contarded little fucktards who need to puff on the Pope. So I'm gonna pinch this into my notebook and clean up for the day because I need to sweep them off. Spot daily. So Anton and Susanna LeVay, Kennewick man, 9,200-year-old fossil remain. How long have the Australian Aboriginal been in Australia, Anton? 60,000 years. He wrote Satanic Bible, the Satanic Rituals, the Satanic Witch, the Devil's Notebook. Satan Speaks. Born 4/11/1930. The Expositor Study Bible, King James Version. Died 10/29/1997. That was my birthday, by the way. And it had also when Lord Kelvin. Uh, no, 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 no. Lord Kelvin caught my marriage to my ex-wife. That one. The dreaming, and when I had my daughter, is a term devised by early anthropologists to refer to a religio-cultural worldview attributed to Australian Aboriginal beliefs. Well, Francis James Gillen kept his grade 8, 3500 BC, thereafter era 2020 knowledge of the Bible and we have to take care of that. Born 10/28, 1855, died 6/5, 1912, 1610 works with the Temple meeting David that invalidated the entire Bible. 2/29, 2019 Bible King James, Wikisource free online Bible, Old Testament, New Testament, Deuterocanon, Canon, and the Free Bible translated ongoing since 2006. So then you have all of that 1666. You already knew it all. You already knew it all. You already knew it all. It's not 6,000 years old. You just threw rubber bands. It's not 6,000 years age. What do you mean that? I was pretty sure it wasn't. That hill right over there told me so. When I watched it erupt, I've tracked the sedimentary layers back through all Earth history just for my church. That so Mount St. Helens erupted when? When did they take God out of the Bible? 2017. He wasn't in there. Okay. Witnessed him preach 6,000-year sermon. Tried to correct him on it. Now the year's 2020, the only thing we can do to help my church is to rip the Bible from that moronic cult leader's hands for breaking the internet in 99. Now I have all of this 1996 data to clean up, so I'll put it with prayers to Maxwell when I get done. I'm no longer happy. You more ignorant retard. Dead Sea Scrolls, exploring the mysteries of the craft from birth to Summerland, a Wiccan Bible, a Witch's Bible, a complete Witch's Handbook, a Psycho Bible, my favorite, right there with 6,000 year what, which I'm writing. What? It's just a really long handwritten note for what the is what the 1666 meant. The year of the in 1976, she had Apocrypha, the Holy Bible, doing Nathan Rambla, the time chart of biblical history, we're following along pretty closely. The life applications, but study Bible, I got this idea to kind of accomplish when I was 15 years of age because I read Pangea was right there, and I wanted to figure out what it meant. And I meant that we don't have a Bible, and so it meant to go to my website, and because we don't have a legitimate Bible, we don't have a legitimate understanding of the letter J guy, and it's best to pray towards God, utilizing in the name of Maxwell Adi. Just do it. Taking that opportunity in order to remind you that you invalidated anything by Dr. Martin Luther with your invalidation preaching, misuse of scripture, misuse of the pulpit, misuse of the time, miscalculation for this type of music to have. Stop with the electro pop stuff. That's also now you're all solving cults who bang on drums. You know, you're all ecstatic. So some mentally ill form doing that one. You're just repeating Earth history. You ecstatics meeting in schools. You're all cults. Too dumb to utilize that time to correct your children's education rather than letting your kids run around and, hey, we're going to get you the maid and give you a boundary to show, hey, if you bring a wading pool in here and do a baptism, we'll have fun. So you're all mentally ill with that book in there. You don't know what it said, and you didn't know it could do that to you. That's what it did. show Foursquare. So cute. Foursquare is why Kurt Cobain blew his head off also down in Auburn. You know, I've gone to that church. I enjoyed it. Foursquare, that was actually, I used to go to Bible study quite often at the Foursquares. Yeah. Evening, middle week, 30 people. Sing some songs. Yeah, community. 1200 AD wasn't anything like that. Moses overburdened with tribe. Priests lazy, overburdened. Everyone's lazy and overburdened with their nothings. You notice that? You've reached such a point of simplicity in everything. It's like, oh, I can be as lazy as I fucking want. And you're overburdened by being so lazy. Ex-wife, she was overburdened by being so lazy. Foolish. So lazy. And never cleaned. Always sat there watching TV. Lazy, lazy, lazy. Get off of work, didn't make dinner. First thing she'd do, we're gonna go out to eat tonight. Lazy. Didn't take care of the children. One child. Sat there watching it. Don't tell that child what to do if it doesn't like that. So she walks out on me and then gets married to me. I hook her up with a guy from we knew together from the church and from the 12-step program I ran over in the Covington Community Church of the Brethren. So I hook him up and hey, you should pick her up. I'm pushing on her. You know, she's really cool. Really? And next thing I know, they're married, right? Next thing I know, they're pregnant, right? Next thing I know, my daughter's pregnant. 3 years plus, 4 years plus, yeah. And their daughter's living with ex-wife who walked out on me and stole a bunch of money and fucked everything up for herself. Lost out on the king-size bed I just bought for her. Because her dog shit and pissed all over my bed. And that stupid little chihuahua piece of shit. She was such a piece of shit. Baptist piece of shit. Father passed away. He was a Baptist preacher. Went to his Free Will Baptist Church in Baptistville, bullshit, down there on right along Route 66. the kids had no education. When I went to school there, they were, I told the story already, 3 weeks into their physics book in January. 3 weeks into their physics book. And the brilliant 7 students and the brilliant teacher, one's in the corner dropping binoc in their eye. I've told that story before. That's funny as fuck, dropping binoc in their eye. Makes her eye wiggle. Yeah, you teach a 500-year legend and you teach that your great children grew up and they drop binoc in their eye. Yo, fuck. Dropping binoc in her eye, cries Christian. Yeah, let's go bend me. Let's have more of these things that drop binoc in their eye. That's not too smart. Baptist. Not looking out for even who your children are not telling you about because you're telling them, no, stay away from them. They grew up from great apes. What are you telling them? Don't believe what you learn in school, Baptist? Dropping the knocker in the eye. What do you think she's learning in school? Neither are learning in school. You both got shit on your legs. Neither are you learning anything in that type of paradigm. You don't have the Bible in your school. You only have it 6,000. Science turned it off. 6,000 years. So what would it look like when we turn it off? Well, it would expose the Wikisource Bible next, which has God in it, but not a warning. Hey, in the year 2020, no one knows this verse. It needed all of that data in Wikipedia. Hey, in the year 2020, somebody's going to take this and say that the Bible is invalid because its verse is what it needed. But nobody thought ahead to think of it that way. So, there's 7.7 billion of you now, and the Earth's not 6,000 years, and Naked Tribe Hunting Monkey is your missing link, and so is Skin Oak Man, and so is Australian Aboriginal, and so is You Shouldn't Have Been Born, and so is that's papers all over the place. So that's next. So over the next week, in order to take the Bible, rip the Bible out of that pastor's house. Your body. Force him to sit down and read it with me. No, pastor, here's not 6,000 years of age. This is what your Bible said, And this is why it had nothing in it when you were done taking it apart and telling me that Moses and God didn't speak face to face, telling me that those verses meant what they said differently. You can't give it up. Why can't you give it up, Pastor? You're not a teacher. You're a cult teacher. Why can't you give up your cult profession? You're a senile elder now. Pastor, you're a senile elder. Sit your ass down and write your retirement. Have you ever taught this verse once? How long did you not understand that this other verse, these words? Why not? Well, it took me 13 years to figure out what to use those two verses for. And I used them outside of that church I'm ripping the Bible from. Also, like Genesis 1:9 and Moses at 120 years when my eldest brother died from methamphetamine-related psychosis. Stupid. There. And he received his whatever. They had his funeral, that's the word. Funeral. And so absolutely, you can believe what you want, but here's not 6,000 years. And so pastor performed that teaching in Sunnyside Christian. Hey, you, Aaron, you're done. You baptized me. Next. Sunnyside Christian School. Bible School. You teach an invalid history with the book. You never taught anything me about the length of time that book would remain in existence of 6,000 years and the consequence it would have upon the internet in 99. I witnessed it invalid because of 6,000 years. Whoop, still have that? When I asked the internet, invalid, and what's the age of the earth? And it told me immediately 6,000 years. The only one. Are you sure? Are you serious? You had to go into some of the others. Hey, we think this. But 99. In the fucking year 1999. White Cliffs of Dover River Road. So, Man 96, local mountains, the history of the Sunnyside Christian, Westside Christian, the history of geology, the local explosions. You don't have that. God has a surprise. Yeah, God's not in your book that you're teaching there with your Christian legend. Good school, quality education, private, typically. Of that, what are we going to do and provide Christian education? Put them together to mate and with the absolute Christian education. Maters, broken at mates. Christian education is broken at mates. But because of ruin by James Ussher, thank you. Kept 6,000 years for hut. Christian education's broken at mate. What? Witnessed. So there in the Nile Valley, where I went to a Christian boarding school at 13 years of age, I sat on a glacial erratic I was pretty impressed with. I do a lot of my meditations on that. I go and hide out there is what I do. It was I can go hide, and I found a cubby spot to hide out. Spent a lot of time back there. This swamp little thing, and you had to wade through. Then this came up. It was really kind of dense, swampy for 6 meters, and then it dried off and coned up, and this glacial erratic, and obviously pushed up as the ground was settling. The plant material was settling down into the ground, and the dense heat of the earth cooling off and slowly getting bigger, slowly getting bigger. We've been getting bigger from this really finite, dense, super dense thing that we as scientists are too incompetent to even do ourselves. We couldn't do this Earth. This particular Earth used to be the super dense, super thing designed, and when God hung it up in the atmosphere, then it started the universe started to expand. This little small finite coil of Earth that we're on separated out. So he had already spent all of this time on this little plank in this bigger thing that is Earth, and God, into meeting God, he spent all of this time on this really dense thing. Then he turned it on and started to swell up, and it's going to forever continue to expand, and our days are going to get longer. And our universe is going to get bigger, and our days are going to get longer. 20,000 years from now, if I don't get to turn on this water thing up here and say, hey, let's just start over from the beginning, I'd like to start over from that very, very finite thing, maybe, and start from the beginning. 20,000 years ago, if I'm up there and I'm observing, it will be 27 hour days. I don't know. You can figure it out. That's with coming in from the the point of zero, zero, point zero. All this little thing I'm describing is the size of a BB in our comparative analysis with the size of God, a little BB. And this little BB that is planet Earth, like, okay, it's just in his hand, God. This little BB thing, okay. And now it's what we have. Started at the size of a BB thing, and this dense rock BB thing. It was hot. It's still bubbling. At the edge of our universe, shit's still going on. All of that water. There might be even fish up there. So long, thanks for all the fish, right? The meaning of life is 4 day 2. And so okay, I was cleaning. Next one will come. Next brain fart. Let's 2 hours. Let's take a 20. I get all these books out here. We'll move on to Yeshua helped. Um, he was sitting there beside Rabbi Shimon also. I want to get this room clean. I need to get this room ready to mop. All my books picked up. So when I'm done with that, I'll move on to Rabbi Shimon. Okay. I began. Saw need in. Saw need. Let's keep good track. Saw need. Full writing systems appear to have been. Human evolution. How long did it take the world to form? Isaac Newton, James Ussher, Charles Darwin, Lord Kelvin. 6,000 year quote website. King James author Burgess at 6,000 years. Few pages I'll skip for you. King James 2019. 2018 Wikisource Bible. We have the Children's King James Version of the Bible published in 1960. 1960. The Children's King James Bible. New Testament. Nine five 2019 $6. 9/5 2019 6. Where will I put these as I write this data down? I will put this right over here for right now. This one has the Apocrypha. New Testament only, 27 books. That's how I'll keep it. 27 books. Christian Community Bible. 1988. 1988. Christian Community Bible. Catholic Pastoral Edition. Lord Kelvin. This followed Lord Kelvin, so I'll put it over there with the Jimmy Swaggart fucked up the King James Version of the Bible by putting 6,000 years in it, not Lord Kelvin. So, the Mormon Bible, Mormon King James goes 2011, 2012. It's Mormon King James when I was baptized. (1979). Holy Bible, King James Version. Cross references to the standard works of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. Cross reference to the standard works of the Church of Jesus Christ, the false Messiah, false Messiah, year's 2020 now. Um, the New English Bible with Apocrypha. (1970). The Creation of the World. Magic Proof 6000s. Okay. Just put this is beautiful. Holy Bible. This is a beauty. (1946). King James. How much is that verse going to cost me to rip out of your Bibles? I'll add that up later. How much have I spent? Holy Bible. It's the one that has it in there too. One of these. The white one has it. There's age. When was this written? Copyright by, doesn't say, but by Zondron. So it's relatively nice, and I guess probably. I don't know. Did they make this during the 70s? It might be from that era. Yeah. I've seen that before. Okay. The Expositor Study Bible. Next, thanks to him. Left us in hell. 2005, 2010, been in hell since. And before, he shouldn't have been born. Great ape kept the legend. When 2005, 2010. The how to recognize in red that you're following a false messiah. Expositors, way to go. King James Version of the Bible, false messiah. Expositation. Thanks for print. I've got two of those, so that one's in leather. Nice ones. Holy Bible, what year? And the Apocrypha. 1954. June 1954. All right. Okay, King James Version with the Apocrypha. Application Study Bible, New International Version. $19.91 will publish anything about this. We'll even go until 2005 with James Ussher. Invalid Apocrypha, New International Version. $19.84. And I had it as a child. I remember getting this for my birthday. Student Bible. King James Version, New Testament. Holy Bible, undated version of King James. Yep. I keep my Russian stuff right here. With my coyote skull. Russian Apocrypha. Yeah, utilizing the King James Version of the Bible to confirm that this was translated wrong, which it was. Some pictures of me to show you why. Yeah, it looks better than me flipping you off. One of the team members of the missions trip. What's that? What's that? What's that? St. Basil's Cathedral in Lagos. Oh fuck, that's so awesome. They have two cathedrals on either side of Red Square, and there's me meeting with some little locals, actually talking to them. We didn't know it's Russian. They love speaking. Americans right now. Um, More pictures of Auschwitz. There's me when I was drunk with my cat once. More pictures of Auschwitz. More pictures of Auschwitz. Welcome back to Germany. It wasn't wise to invalidate CFR 191 for the FAA. Welcome back to Germany. Get you out of hell. Wasn't wise to invalidate that pilot CFR 191. I invalidated that airplane. So, King James Version of the Bible. Dead Sea Scrolls, not ready to get it. Now I'm ready. I'll go page. Dead Sea Scrolls. I have two copies of it. I have both of these, and I've worked with them both. The first one is the one I found magically in my garage. Oh, I gotta clean this up. Okay, so I did. 1996 is when excitement authors saw for this valve, and it's invalid. Having to do anything with the Dead Sea Scroll research is invalid Bible. Anything with Dead Sea Scroll means the Bible is invalid itself. Shame on you. June 7, 1996. Anything with Bible is invalid because of Dead Sea Scroll 1. 1. Your understanding that it is not by human strength. A man's way is not on himself, nor is a person able to determine his step. But I know that in your hand is the inclination of every spirit and all his works. You've determined before ever you created him. You created him. How should any be able to change your words? How you alone have created the righteous one, and from the womb you establish him to give heed to your covenant at the appointed time of grace, and to walk in all things nourishing him in the abundance of your compassion, God's compassion, and relieving the distress of his soul, get you out of hell, for an eternal salvation and everlasting peace without want. Get you out of hell for the Dead Sea Scroll. Thus you raise this glory above the mortal, but the wicked you created for the time of your wrath, and from your womb you set him apart for the day of slaughter. 1610 Minutial. That the day of slaughter. 1610. What? 6,000 year. What? Day of slaughter. 7 minutes. Look at a hill, Pastor. For they walk in a way which is not profitable, and they reject your covenant, and their soul abhors your truth. They have no delight in all you have commanded, but they chose that which you hate all. You have prepared them in order to execute great judgments among them. It's happening, and you're cult preaching. They can't judge you, and they're breaking us. But we're having fun going to them. We're stuck to a building, and I was baptized or something. Somebody invited me. No, and they were silent. Might know you have glory and great power, and what indeed is a mere human that it might have insight into the age of the earth, being taught wrong at the Bible level? The Bible erased. You're so incompetent in hell. How is dust able to determine its step, it asks. You yourself have formed the spirit and its activity. You have determined ... and from you is the way of all life. I know that no wealth compares with your truth and ... Your holiness, I know that you have chosen them above all, and forever they shall serve you. You will not receive a right, nor cover up for deeds of wickedness, for you are a God of truth. Take him out of the tent of meeting, he's going to expose you. And you abhor all injustice, being taken out of the tent of meeting face to face, Christians shall not be before you, for I know that ... the Great Fire of London in 1666 is yours. To take a look at the Great Plague of London in 1665. What happened to with Lord Kelvin? How old is the universe now? Do and I shall. James Ussher's in Eastern Press's 1976 apocryphatic reminder that they can put James Ussher any fucking where. We'll keep this one going. Your Holiness, for in the time of being in the tent of meeting, cast us into hell. The Dead Sea Scrolls, a new translation. The complete Dead Sea Scrolls in English, and I've got 2 copies of this one also. 1962, way to fucking go. 1962, the complete Dead Sea Scrolls in English. Complete Idiot's Guide to Jewish History and Culture. (2004). I've got 2 of these also. They accepted grade 8. It's in Darwin, so is the 6,000. And Wobble. So they took what date on it? They said close to 6,000 years. Jews will happily compromise. 3760 BCE. make reference to the Psycho Bible, the Wiccan Bible, and the Witches Bible, but I don't want them in Mommy's fucking flipping list because there's more some other shit for me elsewhere. So put him with Crowley. No, Mom doesn't get Crowley. You guys, you don't get a lot of my books. You don't get a lot of this real shit. The time chart for biblical history. I also have two of those. What millennium is it now? Okay. Find my pen again. What time is it? I'm looking for my phone. So, 2 hours and 52 minutes. I'll be back. Just, here's one. This is a good one. Um, this is one. This one had invalidation that they put the age of the earth in it. Invalidated Bible by putting the age of the earth in it. 4004 moon cycle 0007. Invalidated age of earth. So that one's probably what Jimmy Sawyer copied from when he was making sure to put his myth of Jesus in there. See if this one's also invalid. Once upon a time, not invalid. And once upon a time, just invalid 2 verses. Once upon a time, invalidated at 2 verses. We don't give a shit, invalidated at 2 verses. 1976, invalid. New Testament, when I carried on my missions trip, invalid. Life Application Study Bible, invalid. The Bible from 26 translations, invalid. The Expositor's Study Bible, invalid. The Book of Life System Bible Study, which is a New Testament, put it into a lot of weird. This is a unique one I enjoyed a lot. Bought 3 and gave them to the 2 pastors that were trying to mark into my house because I'm a nice guy. The very good period. 1971 authorship, so valid. Um, the New Testament, Hebrew and English. No, Old Testament, Hebrew and English. Holy Bible, invalid at 2 verses. The Holy Bible, Catholic, invalid at 2 verses. The New English Bible with Apocrypha, invalid at 2 verses. The New English Bible with Apocrypha, invalidated 2 verses. Gisa Vermes, invalidated. Dead Sea Scroll Researcher, invalid. Baby New Testament on top of it. The Dead Sea Scrolls, Baby New Testament. Young's Literal, invalid. Numerical Bible, invalid. These are composed down here with the special item compile. Closer to the Dead Sea Scroll Research. There we go. Darwin, thank you. Put you with the Jimmy Swaggart's invalidation of the Bible. Calf, what calf? Okay, let's see. So Kabbalistic Bible, 5 books, 6 books, 5. Shooter's Bible, Matthew's 50:37, The Expositor's Greek New Testament, Invalid Research, Adam and the Kabbalistic Tree, Fuck You Christians, The Medieval Mystics of England, Fuck You Christians, Did God Have a Wife? An Invalid Question, The Great Sinners of the Bible, Fuck You Christians, The Legends of Baal Shem, The Christian, the Atheist, and Freedom, The Vicar of Christ, Prayers of Kierkegaard, The Dead Sea Scrolls, The Living Bible, A Holy Bible, the Anton LaVey, The Book of Mormon, New Testament, Jewish Study Bible, Holy Bible, Holy Bible, Holy Bible, Holy Bible, Aramaic New Testament, The Story of Writing, you wrote too fucking much, The Ancient and Modern Library, 1 and 2, The Missing Books of the Bible, 1 and 2, Lost Years of Jesus, Q. Thomas Reader, Q. The Lost Gospel, Good Legend, Josephus, Hyoid, The Book of Sacred Magic of Abramelin the Mage, Orbital, Pagan Ritual, Shit for Me, The Essential Talmud, Shit You're Too Dumb For, Everman's Talmud, Fuck Off, The Living Talmud, You Near in Hell, The Essential Talmud, You Need Me, The Talmud, Selected Writings, A Cult That Won't Turn Off, God is a verb, absolutely. The Living Temple of Witchcraft, which you could have figured out was go over to Wiki, where we're at right now, and listen to Third Eye Self-Hypnosis and figure out that's what that was. Evolution, Creation, and Science, a Book of Myth. No bone unturned, round and blind. I turn off a great ape. The magically use the thought forms, helping you turn off a great ape. Hills of Home, that's actually local. So, really old miniature pattern stuff I picked up. You want to see what it looked like back then? And they have your great ape was were great aping up into the idiots they are right now. Christian great apes, we love you. You're dumb as box rocks. Looks like this. The Nag Hammadi Library, You're in Hell, Mystic Foundation, one for me, The History of the Bible, one to say fuck off on. What's this one? The Pagan Book of Days, fuck you. Dance of the Zodiac, you guys said fuck you. Left You in Hell, The Practice of Magical Evocation, you missed every word in the Bible, even took God out of it. The Goth Grimoire, you took God out of the Bible. I stay there for a little while. Geodesic math and how to use it, I'll help you with that. The New Gospel Parallels, Book of Mormon, Doctrine and Covenants, I'll help you with that. Great Pictures of the Bible, The Occult, I'll help you with that. Heredity and prenatal culture, that's why I'm helping you with this. Project management engineers, you're fucked without my help. Marx and Engels, you're fucked without my help. You think they're whatevers. Great Apes, Bible and Christian History, Bible Storage, 500 Year Great Apes, wrote a lot. The 5 Gospels, the Acts of the 500-Year Great Ape Legend, the New Gospel 500-Year Great Ape Stupid composition, the complete Kama Sutra. I'll get around to that because they're smarter than you 500-year great apes in America. Scientific facts of the Bible. If you take God out of it, he leaves you in hell. Archbishop James Ussher did that to you. The Simpsons had some collation in the Simpsons gospel right there. Oops. Put that back. Oh, the Living Bible, Archaeological Study Bible, Lost Age of the Earth, Holy Scriptures. Nothing holy about that for shit. Sacred Secrets, the Sanctity of Sex and Jewish Law and Lore, the Book of Enoch, 72 Names of God, the Sanctity is the Old Testament in English, Genesis to Esther, Job to Maccabees, Christ in the Ancient World, Sufism, Veil and Quintessent, The Way of the True Sufi, Flip Off Christians, throw fly airplanes into their building 6, but stop doing that.
the wisdom of Confucius, fragments of a faith forgotten. That's why I say thanks, but stop doing that. Thanks. Our stories disclose. You got Alcoholics Anonymous. Get over it. Book of Shadows, Wicked Path, Wicked Magic. Shit for self-initiation for the solitary witch. When I was going through all the Kabbalah and figuring out how God broke you and left you in hell, that's where that left me at. The heart center marriage. So I'll teach you a little bit on that. Meditation, pull your heads out of your asses. Kabbalah and Jewish mysticism. I'm smarter than you, apparently. You're Christian. The secret doctrine of the Kabbalah. You can't tell you're in a cult. Dictionary. Witchcraft can't tell you're in a Sunday cult. Don't even know what millennium is now. Sunday cults don't know what millennium it is. Now it's the millennium to turn off your churches, the Sufi Book of Life, and that's why the spiritual exercises of St. Ignatius. You have Alcoholics Anonymous, get over it. History of religious ideas, you talk about them there. The Gospel of Mary Magdalene, the Inner Temple of Witchcraft, how to make ESP work for you. It's kind of a joke after that. Psychic development simplified, the essence of Kabbalah. It's a you were left in hell joke. The age of faith, left in hell joke, health food. I'll write something on that later when I get around to it. The angels, mysterious messengers. It's really just here for me to stare at that and wonder what happened to you. Religions in 4 dimensions. The Psalms around us, a single book. Giants, the life of Christ. It's a big book. The gun book for parents is in orange. Joyfully Seeing, also in orange. The Infinite World of James MC Ussher, Ignatius, the Pilgrim Saint, I suppose. David the King, age of something. Saint Francis, the biblical doctrine of original sin. Yeah, you took God out of the Bible. The Passover anthology. No more buying or selling books. Saint Augustine on Christian doctrine. That's why the Book of Revelation is not a very dumb book to have. Astrology, mundane, and the occult, and that cleanup guy. You're in hell. The Manual of Vascular Plants. That's why. The Celtic Vision, your Immoral and Competent Great Apes, the Sacred Circle of Tarot. I'll teach you how to play a game later. The Celtic Magic, we can spin some cards. Celtic Wisdom, Seasonal Rituals and Festivals, Celtic Spirals, Christ of the Celts, Celtic Benediction, Celtic Days, the Celtic Moon Ring Kit, Complete Idiot's Guide to Quitting Smoking. I have more of those than you'd think. I'm tired. Okay, you see our little conundrum? Your Bible's invalid. Legend of the Wandering Jew, your little conundrum. The Bible's invalid. That's why I've been dragging you fucking Christians to get this fucking cult to fucking turn off. What the fuck? Most immoral, incompetent fucking retards. 6,000 year retards. 6,000 year. What the fuck's the complete Jewish Bible? What the fuck? 6,000 years and a code of religion. What the fuck? You immoral, incompetent great apes. The Holy Quran, less immoral, incompetent great apes, because it told you. And another copy of the Holy Quran, less more. Yeah, this is a good copy of the Holy Quran. We have to get the Holy Quran out of print because they don't know what it said for the Christians. Holy Quran. Get the Bible out of print because Christians are immoral incompetence. Holy Quran. Kind of warm up here. So, 6 says, in your earth, Pastor, thanks for trying. Born. You didn't keep track of your word. Is Bible church closure. I'm taking the Bible from it, Bible church. So open to it. Look what it said. And David, kind of the end of the road, clean up back, kind of boring when you meet. Love you guys. Thanks for hanging out.